Well, folks, everyone knows that Nvidia is the king of GPUs, but the real upside is something much, much bigger. Autonomous machines, cars and robots, physical AI that performs useful work in the real world. What follows is an explanation of why Nvidia investors are going to get rich in 2026. All right. So, we are pairing an artificial version of human intelligence with physical machines right now in a very big way. And there's so many examples of this that it's hard to describe all of them. But the most notable one is the Tesla full self-driving opportunity that is going on. As I stated in a recent video, we just last week had a gentleman drive a Tesla from Los Angeles all the way across the country, completely using full self-driving software, and that is a just a subset of the kinds of physical AI that is happening right now. Um, the bigger picture is that physical AI is replacing human labor, okay? And NVIDIA completely owns this market. Here we have the little pie chart that shows the NVIDIA market share for GPUs, the things that are needed to train, and for the inference side of the AI is just total domination. So, this is going to be reducing costs for businesses and improving profitability for businesses. And always keep in the back of your head that if you want to identify investment opportunities, you need to look for change. And there's no bigger change that I can think of that's going to be happening to society, perhaps in human history, than physical AI. All right, so Wall Street professionals just don't understand what is going on. And this chart, in my opinion, proves it. 5-year return on Nvidia, 1,300%. Okay. I jumped on board Nvidia right around here. Um, you can see 81% for the S&P 500. So massive, massive excess profit to NVIDIA investors. And we are just at the beginning stages of this transition of humans to human-based labor to, an artificial version of labor. All right, so I'd like to do a little dive into a specific example to help put this into context as to what the opportunity is. And I'm going to use the heavy machinery company Caterpillar. Okay. In the old days, a Caterpillar bulldozer or loader was 100% a Caterpillar type of product. So the economic value of that sale was it all pretty much dropped to Caterpillar. But what is actually happening in the year 2025, 2026, as we go forward, the um, the Caterpillar machine, in a sense, Caterpillar is selling both the machine and an artificial version of the operator of the machine is being sold together. And so, the machine operator is a huge, huge percent of the cost of running a business with this type of machine. So if we look over here, we can kind of see how the technology stack, so to speak, works. And the new business model here for heavy equipment is that there's the actual classic machine, okay, the physical structure, but then we have chips and sensors that are built into it. And there's a foundation AI model that NVIDIA provides that provides, in a sense, all of the rules of association and symbols for the laws of physics, etc., built into this AI. And then the Caterpillar company, in a sense, trains on that foundation model with their own, input sensor data, cameras, etc., that are on board. And they train their own custom software so that when a company buys this piece of equipment, what they're really buying is on the surface, it looks like a Caterpillar product, but the inside of the sandwich, so to speak, is all NVIDIA. And just to put this into context of a mining operation that's out in Utah, big copper mine, Kennecott. It's a couple miles across, open pit mine. They have about 100, rock truck, haul truck drivers, and they make about $80,000 a year, and 200 excavator operators, and 200 loader type operators. And if we replace the operators of this type of equipment with this NVIDIA enhanced machinery, then we have at least a $40 million a year cost savings for the mine owner, okay? And this would drop just right to the bottom line. But there's all these other benefits that go along with this, including reduced operating expenses due to fewer accidents, medical expenses, workers get hurt. Mining is kind of one of these dangerous types of occupations, and accidents are known to occur. So you take the human out of the situation, you don't have medical bills, you don't have workers' comp costs, etc. All right. So just a small sample of the NVIDIA physical AI partnerships that they already have in place. Companies like John Deere, as I mentioned, Caterpillar. In green, we have semi-truck companies, Navistar, Freightliner. We have humanoid robot companies, Boston Dynamics, Figure, and the Tesla Optimus type product. Um, Notice that there's a difference the, between the inference GPUs that are needed and the training GPUs. The training GPUs can all be pretty much done on the NVIDIA H100 class, okay, the Blackwell, the Rubin type of GPUs in these giant AI data centers. But the inference needs to be done on board the machine. Okay, so there's a little custom circuit board that goes on the machine after the AI has been trained. It is compressed and distilled down into an AI model that runs on the circuit board on the machine, as I said. And then when it comes to like heavy equipment, they use the Jetson version of the GPU board. And when it comes to things that drive on expressways and roads, that's their drive inference product. So yeah, you can see the Jetson is kind of like, okay, the humanoid robots share a similar platform to the heavy equipment type of machines. Tesla Optimus runs, their training is on NVIDIA, but they have really been forward thinking and decided that they want even more efficiency than what NVIDIA has been able to offer. And they jumped ahead and they create their own custom inference GPUs. Some car companies, Toyota, Mercedes-Benz, BYD, you may have heard of them, GM. All right. They all are NVIDIA physical AI partners. And this is just a small sample of who NVIDIA is already working with. The financials for this company are just mind-blowing. 5-year annualized revenue increase 75% per year average. 1-year revenue growth rate 114%. Earnings Even more amazing, 1 year earnings growth rate, 145%. Okay, this company is printing just buckets and buckets of cash each quarter. It's just incredible. We can see the revenue growth rates right here. Wall Street doesn't get this. They're not giving them any credit for growth going forward. It's like they think that we're at peak AI or something like that, and that this whole technological trend is just gonna come to a screeching halt. It's not, okay? Humans are going to continue to substitute labor with this type of machine or capital. The rule of 40, that describes revenue growth rate with profitability, a great metric for measuring companies. 114, this is like all-time record high number up with, that it's even ahead of Palantir by a little bit. It's incredible. So the opportunity is right here in front of us in 2026. Tesla has already proven that physical AI can be solved. They have solved it, okay? And it's going to be getting better and better and better as it goes forward. It's already superhuman. Um, Wall Street pros, they fear that we're in an AI bubble. They think it's like the dot-com bubble. They just don't get it. Every single GPU that gets produced is being immediately put to use. Wall Street pros, they don't have the proper education to even understand this complex technological transformation that's occurring right now. Um, Finance degrees, law degrees, okay? These types of academic backgrounds tend to dominate the large institutional decision making. AI applications deliver real results, massive waves of substitution for AI, at least 40 trillion. Okay, that's just with the current labor supply that's out there with the current level of GDP. This number is going to be growing. So, and Nvidia is going to grab the lion's share of this 40 trillion. So keep in mind that this is not just a chip company. This is actually a chip and a software company. It's like they own the full stack. And this software locks their customers in. There's extremely high switching costs. They're never going to be switched. They're not going to ever switch over to AMD, for example, or Intel, okay? Sorry to say, Intel people, but they're not going to be switching from Nvidia software over to anything because Intel doesn't have anything for them. Inference costs just keep on collapsing, okay? This is like Moore's law on steroids, okay? Every year that goes by, the inference cost drops by a factor of 10, okay? 1/10 the cost every single year. And we can see a little graph here that shows the drop in inference costs. So it's like the cost of running the AI on the machine is becoming practically is heading towards zero. Nvidia represents a second chance, really a last chance, in my opinion, for escaping the clutches of Tesla, okay? Because Tesla is rolling out their robotaxi network. I mean, it's it's happening right now, and it's sooner or later it's going to become very clear. It's probably already very clear that they're either going to have to license the technology from Tesla, which I think is going to be very unpalatable to the legacy auto companies, or they can use the NVIDIA system that is in place. And in my opinion, the NVIDIA system is not going to be, it's not as far along. It's not as developed. So I think that what's going to happen is that most of the legacy auto companies within the next year or two if they haven't already jumped on board the Nvidia bandwagon. They're going to jump on the Nvidia bandwagon, or someone's going to cave and they're going to license it from Tesla. So Tesla and Nvidia are the two big winners in this AI race. The way that this typically works when you are talking about converting a classic type of machine over to an autonomous machine is that there's an intermediate step. So for example, in a mining situation, the intermediate step is to have for example, the loader or the bulldozer be teleoperated. Okay, so there's somebody in a safe, location that's off-site that is actually operating the controls and then the electronically communicating that to the actual onboard machine. And you can mix that type of teleoperation with an autonomous features. And as it learns more and more about how the human is operating the machine, then the AI is trained more, and the more the AI is trained, then the more autonomy can occur. And so you're going to get to a situation where, for example, in a mining operation or in a farming situation, you might have like one farmer that or one machine operator that's going to be, in a sense, kind of like supervising 10 or 15 or 20 different machines, and only getting involved in edge case type scenarios where the autonomy is not successful, the autonomy is not working properly. But then eventually, as the AI gets better and better and better, say over the next 5 to 10 years, then it's going to become 99.999% just completely autonomous, and the AI is going to be completely taking over the operation. So that's the path that we're on. Old style manual controls with a human, teleoperation with some autonomy as the intermediate step, and then full autonomous um, type of operation is on its way. Okay. So I have about what 12, 13% of my portfolio in Nvidia. Um, yeah, this is I think a pretty safe bet that if you were to invest in Nvidia over the next 3, 4, 5 years, I think that you're gonna definitely beat the S&P 500 by a very sizable amount. And and it's all there because it's not priced properly. I think the forward PE ratio, the 1 year forward PE ratio on Nvidia is something like 20, 25. It's like they're just not giving Nvidia any credit for what's going to be happening going forward. So anyways, I just wanted to share this opportunity with everybody, and I thank you for watching. This has been Top of Funnel with Jeff Whitaker. Until next time, take care.